Hello, my friends. Most of us in astrology feel that as an aspect gets more exact, it gets stronger. It's almost obvious to most people, although not everybody agrees with that, and we certainly don't know exactly how much it gets stronger as it becomes more exact. I'm going to show you some different options, different possibilities, and you can see for yourself which one intuitively makes the most sense to you. In fact, in the comments below, it'll be fun if you just post down which one do you like or which one are you inclined to think is correct. But let's look at what the options are. And as we look at this, first thing I want to do is let's see an example of what I'm talking about. Just to make this really concrete, let's take Jupiter trine Uranus in November and December of 2019. Jupiter was trine Uranus. I mean, there are aspects all the time. I'm just sort of randomly picking this one out. So here we are on November 20th, 2019, and Jupiter is 5 degrees applying trine to Uranus. So Jupiter is at about 27.5 Sag. Uranus is about 3.5 Taurus. This is what we call an out of sign aspect, but it's about 125 degrees. Jupiter's direct, Uranus is retrograde. So as we move forward in time, it'll get stronger. Let's move forward 5 days. Okay, Jupiter's up to 28.5 Sag. 5 days later, it's 29.5. The orb now is, 4 degrees. So the line is getting thicker. The software is showing us that it's getting stronger. 5 days later, you see that line getting thicker. Now the orb is, what is it? Like about 2 degrees or something. I go a little bit later, the line's getting thicker. The orb on this date is slightly over 1 degree. It's 1 degree, 13 minutes. So we're down to a degree orb. It's clearly everybody agrees that that's very tight. It stays there, very exact. And then as we go forward, I'm going forward 5 days at a time. And of course the orb gets bigger and it's shown in the software as a thinner line, smaller glyph. It seems to intuitively make sense. Now, let's look at some different possibilities. And this gets really important when you're trying to see what aspects are really the strongest or what groups of aspects. So let me go back to my PowerPoint and show you the different possibilities. Here's maybe the most intuitively obvious one, is that as the aspect gets stronger, this peak at the top means the aspect was exact. For example, that Jupiter trine Uranus, no orb, it's got its maximum strength. And then as it reaches maximum orb, and that could be any orb that you happen to use, it might be 5 degree orb, 10 degree orb, whatever you're using, then the aspect has become very weak and it disappears. So this straight line, as the aspect gets more exact and then as it gets weaker and fades out, it's a direct percentage. If you're allowing a 10 degree orb and the actual orb is half that, 5 degrees, you've got half the strength. So this is a straight line, direct proportion. Seems like a fairly good idea, but there are some alternatives. Here's one of the alternatives. In red, a sine wave. Ooh, now that maybe feels a little bit better because if you're almost exact, it makes very little difference. What do you think? Should that be true? Everybody thinks about it. Maybe the straight line, straight proportion is more accurate. So, and also here at maximum orb, what's happening with the sine wave is it makes less difference if you're out at maximum orb. So, a lot of things travel in sine waves, a lot of natural phenomena look like this. Maybe this is what we should be using. It doesn't make a massive difference, but what happens is when the orb is smaller, you're getting greater strength. When the orb is very large, you're getting less strength. What do you think? Be interesting. You can write your comments below about your thoughts about this. What do you do or what do you think? I don't think we have clear research to show us yet. Now, here's an interesting one. You take the sine wave and you square it. Now, squaring just means you multiply a number by itself. So let's say something has 70% strength. It's up around here, pretty close to exact, but not exact, up in this upper part. And it's got 70% strength means 0.7. Well, when you multiply 0.7 by itself, 0.7 times 0.7, you get 0.49. You've gone from 0.7 to about 0.5. By squaring, the values are smaller. So this kind of golden colored, which is the sine squared, everything's a little bit lower. It's you might say a skinnier shape. And what this means is that, for example, when the orb is weak, look how long it stays near zero. It's going to stay near zero for a much longer time than with the red sine wave. So the power of that aspect just fades out like more gradually. And then the peak, doesn't spread as far. Maybe astrology has like an actual way it works. Like it's like there's a formula. One of these formulas may be the correct one. And by using the correct one, your interpretation would be more precise, more accurate. It's a possibility. Now, some people look at astrology more as like a symbolic language, and it's not like a science with such clear formulas. I think I just banged the microphone if you heard a little sound there. You can put in the comments your thoughts. Interesting. What's going on here? Is one of these formulas what works, or is astrology really not that precise? Those of you who know how I work in astrology, you pretty much know how I think, but I'm just leaving that open for now. Now, here's another interesting one. You take the straight line, the first one we started with, this black straight line, you square it and you get this thing. Looks kind of like a tent or something. And it peaks like that. What do you think of that one? Just take the straight line value and square it. And also, I didn't label it here, but I put in a gray straight line. What is that? What that is in some Vedic astrology and some medieval astrology, and sometimes in Hellenistic astrology, aspects are between signs. A planet anywhere in Taurus trines a planet in Virgo, and it doesn't really matter. Like, they don't use orbs like that. Or some people will say that a trine has, say, a 5-degree orb, or whatever orb they're using, 3-degree orb, and it just starts there. It starts when it hits 3 degrees, and that's it. It's like binary. You have the aspect, or you don't have it. There's no strength. You got it, or you don't. So that would be a straight line. And what I've done here is I've drawn the straight line halfway up, because I think if you're using just an on-off binary, like you have the aspect or you don't have it, this kind of is a compromise. So it may be that the maximum orb, if you're just setting an orb and you're saying, I'm going to use a 5-degree orb for trines, and if it's 5 degrees 1 minute, it disappears. Like, there's this boundary. And believe it or not, some astrologers do this. Some advanced, Vincent Godbout is one of the most advanced researchers in astrology. He does this in his research. It's just binary. Boom, you have it or you don't have it. And that would just look like this. It's another possibility. The last one I'm going to show, this is something I just thought of after I started making this, all these slides and everything. I thought to myself, in Vedic astrology, they what they do is they have aspects between signs. Like I said before, Taurus, any planet in Taurus trines any planet in Virgo or Capricorn. Actually, only some planets make trines, like Jupiter. But anyway, it's like a sign-to-sign thing. But they will also say, if the aspect is really getting exact, it's stronger. So they're using some Vedic astrologers do this. So those Vedic astrologers are using kind of a combination of flat line, Taurus, trines, Virgo, period, but also giving more emphasis if it's getting exact. So to represent that, I made this circular. It looks kind of more like an ellipse here, but that's just because this is stretched more vertically than horizontally. But yeah, I've called it a circular orb. So that kind of captures a little bit of the flat line, but not completely flat. A little bit of emphasis on being exact, but not as much emphasis as any of the other methods. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 possibilities. And the seventh one there's no graph for it, is astrology's not that precisely mathematical. It's just, it's like a rubric. It's like a general guideline. And it's not really that precise. Which of those 7 do you think? For fun. I think it's just kind of fun because to me, no matter how strong someone believes in something, no matter how convinced, no matter how great of an argument they make, we need research to tell us, and that's one of the things we're doing fantastic research, discovering how things work. So this is interesting. What is the formula? I don't think anybody knows. I mean, some people know, but collectively we don't agree on this yet. So which formula do you like best? And I think research is going to tell us because the research that is being done is fabulous. And one of the things I'm involved with is the Cosmobiology Institute. The Institute is a nonprofit. It gives free online lectures. You can go to the website and sign up to get notices of those free lectures. And the first Cosmic Discovery Conference on Discoveries, is in late April 2026 in Nashville, Tennessee. If it's successful, there'll probably be an annual or maybe every 2 or 3 years, like a live conference presenting the latest findings. And when I say findings, I mean findings like data that shows what works. So very, very exciting. You can go to cosmobiology.org to register for the conference or find out what's going on, etc. Okay, well, that's it, my friends. Like I said, it'd be fun if you just write down in the comments below, what do you think? Some of you know what my inclination is. Actually, there's a few that I'm thinking of. But more importantly, it's just have fun with this. It's one question that has not really been resolved and hasn't been articulated that clearly with what the options are very often, which is what I've done here. I think that's my last slide. I'll just thank you. There's my email address, the website, santinomancuso.com, which has the index into the 800 videos, which is fabulous, all free. And there's also a membership program if you want to interact with me and other people twice a month. That costs $10 a month. But subscribing is free. Go to santinomancuso.com, click on that link to the 800 videos. It's fabulous. You can find all these videos organized by topic, and you can search, etc. Okay, that's it, my friends. Thank you very much for watching this and participating in this adventure and figuring out what astrology is. God bless. Namaste.